Welcome back. I found a plastic stool from a kid's drum set, and they are claiming that it can support 32 kilograms. So I want to simulate it, but first I need a 3D model. So this is a video tutorial for the design of the seat part. I will later throw another video about the legs. So in this case, I already did the sketches and planes and parametrics of the part. So all that is covered already. And I will jump directly into the features that add material, which will be my next suggestion. So the first suggestion or first practice is to add the sketches, planes, parameters, everything related with the origin or datum planes. That will be key in order to keep consistency in our model. Secondly, I will add features that remove material, but I think in this case we are not going to have much of those. And finally, I will suggest that you can add chamfers, fillets, and drafts. So let's jump right in to the software. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. I already have the geometry that defines the circular uh, plate, let's say. So it is a revolution, pretty easy. That was sketch number one. I will hide it. Then I have this other geometry up here, and it is going to be an extrusion, as simple as an extrusion, since it is not difficult. One of the things that you can see in this section is that it is not constant thickness, which also surprised me as well, but we will find out why later. So I will use the option of true next. So it just extrude till the next phase of solid body. Okay, so that solved the problem in there. I will hide the sketch, and then I will jump into the feature that is located at the center. So in this one, as you can see, I have been turning off the sketches, and it is because that could give me some problems by selecting these areas. So I want to select a contour from these intersecting geometries. So there is no defined geometry from the outside by itself. The software is capable to identify the different sections. So I will select one, and now I select the second one, but I lost my previous selection. So what I'm going to do is to left the control um, on the keyboard, and after doing it once, I will keep just doing click without pressing the control button on the keyboard. So I just go picking, selecting the areas that I want to include. Okay, there we go. Perfect. One more. That's it. Perfect. So I just need this one. There you go. Okay, so now I will click on extrude, and I will use the same option of true next. Pretty good. All right, right click, and you can click cancel. Okay, so I already click on hide the sketch. As you can see, if I turn it on again, it looks like it is on the way. If I try to click the bottom of this geometry, so I will turn it off. Simple as that. I can select the bottom or the body itself. Next feature will be some ribs that are located in between the bosses. So I will use the command called rib that is here. I will select this geometry, then right click. Now I will tell the software in which direction I want it, but I need to verify the thickness. Yes, thickness at the top is 1.45. this is the direction. And now right click. Now let's go for the next one. And this one is having a thickness at the top of 1.3. Why do I care about the top? Is because I need to add drafts and I already took measurements of the ribs, but at the top. And then if I measure the bottom, I can determine what is the draft angle. All right, we have there those. Perfect. There is something pending in here, this interesting geometry. Let me try to select it. Maybe I can turn off the ribs geometries. There we go. Okay, whoop. 1 second. I will exit. Comment. Yeah, it is waiting for, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So in this drop-down menu, you need to select from where do you want the geometry. So the first option is selected from an existing sketch. The rest is for create a plane so you can create a sketch. So it throws you directly into the sketch environment for creating new geometry. So in this case, I could include these ones at the center, but they are not going to add any material in reality. So we can just leave it like that. So now right click and select the direction. And there we should have it. But unfortunately, I did it as a cut. How do we solve that is by editing the, whoop, hold on, is the last in here. I will just click in here and click add material. Click on finish. And that's pretty much it. Now let's turn off the sketch so it is not on the way. We could also turn off this sketch, this sketch, this sketch. I will leave this one, sorry, planes, datum planes. I'll turn off datum planes and I will leave this one on. All right. So now we have to do a pattern of this 4 times. So I will roll back or move the last operation at the model tree, or what I mean is like I will revert in time just for a second. So the command is called go to. It's like um, roll the state of the 3D modeling. So if I click in this sketch and click go to, it is going to suppress all the things that are below it. And that's something that I want to do because I want to add a new sketch. So I click on sketch for create a new sketch. I will select this plane, the one that I left on. And now I will select the option of circular pattern. This is something that Solid Edge has very different from the rest of the softwares, to be honest. So this is a little bit strange. I know. Okay, so let me add maybe by include, let me include here these two geometries so they can be there. So I can now attach my circular pattern. There we go. It's not attaching to the right at the center. So let me find out why. There you go. Now I can, yeah, it was not required to project the geometry maybe. Let me confirm this just for avoid confusion. So I will draw in here. Yep. So I can stick to any of these ones or just add the dimension. What matters in here is this count. I can also type here the radius if it is important, but not precisely. And I want 4 of them in any direction. So you can see here the dots. So those dots are the pattern reference. I will click the check, then click finished, and then I have my sketch for the pattern that I need to do. Let's come back to the last feature that we did by just going to on the model tree and click on Go To. All right. So now it's time to make a pattern on the of the features. So I will click on pattern. It is going to ask me for which model I want to create the pattern. I will try by selecting, let's see, all of these guys, except for the one that is at the center that clearly doesn't require that. I will right click, and now I should select a sketch that already has the pattern. Look that Solid Edge is identifying this pattern that I already did at the top of my features. All right, so now I click on OK, and we have the pattern down. So this is a very interesting way to do it. Usually you go creating sketch feature. So it is on that order. This way is a little bit different, but I hope that it is going to be more stable. And in this case, since we are making a reverse engineering of something, we know what we want to design, at least. Okay, very good. So I will turn off this sketch so we can select things inside here. Now the next move is to add the radial ribs that we have all around. So how do we deal with those? So as you can see, the sketch is not going from face to face because this sketch had been done before even the first feature exists. So the way how we do it is by using the rip command, and we are going to select one of the arcs, right click, I select the direction. I will come back to this to say which orientation I want, if I want the thickness on the internal or the external side of the radius. And I will modify the thickness itself, which on my note says that it is 1.2. All right. Okay, cool. So this command is great because it can identify um, the extensions. So it is doing an extension. Let me show you here, extend to next. So it is moving pretty intelligently on the cat, on the modeling. All right. So of course we need to do a pattern of these rips. So let me save this. And now we're going to reuse the same sketch that we have with the pattern reference. So let's go again to pattern, select the features, right click, select this reference, right click, and there we go. That's perfect. Okay, so we have most of our model. I will save this model. And now what we need to do, now that we have, as I told before, the features that add material, now we are going to include um, the drafts. Actually, the drafts, because this part has very little, not many radiuses, and that surprised me a lot because plastic parts used to have a lot of radiuses everywhere because of the tooling and other reasons. All right, so I will speed up the camera, the video a little bit, uh, to not make you guys wait for the drafts. So okay, so I will add the angle. It is half millimeter, sorry, half degree, 0.5 degrees. So I click on the right click of my mouse and right click again for select the direction that I want this to happen. And there we go. So I will repeat this again 3 times more. So in here, there is something important. I want to create the reference for the ribs that are in this face. So since they are having different heights, it is important to um, use the top face as a reference because I want to keep the thickness at the top. So that's why I'm not selecting just, let's say, one single reference and applying the drafts all over the place, because if not, it is going to vary the distance that I have here at the top. And for do that on a better way, I need to make sure that I'm going to select a reference that is actually the main first feature. So as you can see here, here is the feature. But at the same time, do you remember I did some datum planes? Well, that's why they are in the design. So let me find out here, this one. Okay, is this plane. Perfect, plane number 5. So again, I will select draft. I will use my plane 5, and that's going to be a pretty good reference. It's not going to be lost as long as I do not delete it. And if I change the height of the ribs, probably is going to be by making a change on that height of the plane, and that's going to keep my model always consistent. Okay, just for finalize this, I want to draft, of course, the outer face. All right, cool. So now I'm going to add the radius. So this internal radius over here is going to be a 5 mm one. And finally, the one at the outside is going to be 6.55 in order to keep constant thickness. All right. So let me double check. Yeah, okay, cool. So a couple of final things in here. Let me take a look to the inspect, where we have some draft tools. So we have draft, yes, draft analysis. We have the colors. So in this case, I just used 0.5 degrees all over the place. They could be different, of course. So I will save as default. It's close. And now let's select the plane. For me, it's okay. This one. Pull direction is going to be this other one. Let me see what happened. Plane. Okay, pull direction. Okay, now I will click on show. All right, so seems like it is having some of the walls are not being applied. Yeah, so of course I forgot to draft these other ones, and this one is left there. So this is a pretty good way how to double check your drafts. I cannot complain about this. So let's find out the draft. Here for the faces, we forgot to add that one. Let's click. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now we have all them in blue, and I will add the last uh, drafts for the circular ribs. Okay, cool. So I did a draft of 1 degree in those circular ribs. So they are in yellow because they are more than the expected for the analysis. All right. Cool. So that's pretty much for this tutorial. I will add soon the other part for the legs, which are more interesting. Those parts are really interesting. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like. Cheers.